Hey guys, what is going on? It's Justin Masson here from Nintendo Dads, and we are going to do a little bit of gameplay of Planet Alpha, which is out on the Nintendo Switch right now. Came out September 4th, and big thanks to the team over at Team 17 who provided us a review copy of Planet Alpha. We greatly appreciate that. Now, Planet Alpha, I actually had time to play it in the Indies highlight section at Gamescom about a week and a half ago, and I actually named this as one of our top 3 games for the Nindies or Indies that you need to be looking out for. So very excited for the team to be sending us over this early access copy. So again, this is Planet Alpha, and I described this during my kind of review of the 3 games to be looking out for. This was kind of like if Inside, the game Inside and not Lost Planet, No Man's Sky, there it is. No Man's Sky kind of met up. This would kind of be the game that came of it. So here we are started. We are this alien kind of person, or astronaut, I guess would be the best turn of phrase here. And of course, in any video game, we're gonna head right? Just start walking right immediately. Your man definitely looks like he has seen better days. Got a little bit of a limp and a drag of the feet here, so indicating potentially some injury or damage. No real other context other than this. None of the other buttons functionally do anything. We are just heading right. As I mentioned before, kind of very much like that idea of Inside, right? Where there's not a lot of information. You just kind of start off, right? You start walking, you start moving forward. And in this case, the exact same way. It kind of almost looks like we've crashed in Mars, very kind of red and rocky. Maybe that's the environment we're going for here, but we don't know what's caused our crash or us falling to this planet, whatever you want to call it. Now, I am playing this on docked using the Pro controller, and I just say that because I like people to know what I'm using. And here we go. I'm just gonna keep walking. Some of the amazing folks, game developers and designers, I assume, names showing up here. I kind of like the names showing up first. They're almost very cinematic, right? Very movie-esque. That we're going to show the producers or designers or whoever had a hand in influencing the game. So that's always kind of cool. It's a nice little change of pace. I think it changes the tone potentially of the game as well. Beautiful landscape. Like, that was one of the things I had made the statement of before. Is, I mean, even as you look at the background here, these kind of massive pods, if you would, or whatever these are, trees or pods or something. Just, you know, you instantly kind of want to say, like, tell me more. What is going on in there? Is there, you know, they all kind of look alike. Are there creatures that live in there? Is there animals? Are those like beehives almost? Like, what is that? And tell me more. And obviously this massive shadow that just passed us over, something that almost looks like a flying whale, if you would. I think it helps to create a little bit of the scale of this world, and potentially how small you are in this grander scale of a world as well, which I think is really kind of very cool. We're continuing to move forward. We now have a headlamp, or kind of a headlamp thing going on here. It appears to be darker, so we're using this kind of lamp. Now we're kind of falling in front of what looks to be a face, like an open cave of some sort. And the cave does open. Some light comes out. As if exhausted, our character has fallen to the ground, and that is it. We go to black. And there we go. Now we're kind of somewhere else. What appears to be inside the cave, I believe. Of course, the question being, how did we get inside this cave? Who brought us here? And now our character no longer has that limp, so they have been healed. They have been rejuvenated, if you would. So they're off to explore, getting some early directions on what we need to do here. So Y to duck. And again, kind of our first. Now this is great. I love this imagery right here. This again is kind of like our first look. Of course, I'll take a picture of this. This is kind of our first real footage or big look at, again, this world. And again, I think we see these like dinosaur creature, alien creatures kind of in the background there. I think again it helps to highlight that how small you are in this very large world. And I think that was going to help to tell the tale of, like, you know, these big animals, these big creatures, these big structures are moving through this world, and you are a very small thing. You are barely taller than the grass. or in some cases are not taller than the grass, and you need to safely navigate your way through here. We're just using some quick jump buttons, and here on this vine we're actually able to climb our way up as well. Again, just kind of a lush environment. There's you know, again, this is the tell me more about this environment. Tell me more about these creatures. And I think this is probably where, as I mentioned before, the No Man's Sky inspiration really reminds me of kind of these vast alien dinosaurs in this very tropical kind of world, Planet Alpha as we're calling it here. We're getting some directions here on actually moving stuff. So in this case, I'm going to move. I can't jump up there, so I need to move the block here. And then up we go. Using Y will allow me that extra kind of boost I need to move forward. So controls are fairly simple. Nothing too crazy here. And there we go. We're going to keep climbing up this kind of flowery wall, if you would, up the top. And scurrying along we go. Again, music makes a fantastic kind of atmosphere here. Oh, there we go. We just died. Again, if I go back to my reference point of something like Inside, you know, we don't have a life counter somewhere where it's, hey, you only have 5 lives left, you died. You die, and you're back into it very quickly. And I think that helps to allow the story to continue, the story beats to continue. There is definitely, you know, I think we think of a game like this, it just reminds me of this feeling of isolation, of solidarity, I guess, yeah, isolation is the word I'm looking for, of loneliness, right? Being, again, this small in such a vast world, and obviously the design here is wanting to make you feel that small, right? Using big background pieces like the mountains, like the animals, like the trees, and comparatively sizing you to grass or rocks, I think is an interesting move here. So now we're using our L and R button to actually activate some kind of alien switches here. The night cycle is transitioning with us here as well. We're going to remove this kind of fence that was blocking our way, and we're going to move forward. So I suspect that L and R kind of trigger buttons are part of the problem solving that we're going to see throughout this game as well. And again, so this is very much a side-scrolling problem solver platforming. I don't know. I don't want to call it a walking simulator because I don't think they're quite that, but exploration-based game. It's the best way I'm going to describe this. We're going to start jumping around. Now, again, interestingly enough, like we're seeing statues, right? We're seeing this gold statue here. We're seeing structures, right? Structures that are not nature-made, right? So there was a civilization or a life or something else here before we arrived here. So tell me more about that, right? Already, you know, we're less than 10 minutes into it, and there are some compelling questions of how did we get here? Who are we? Where are we? What has happened here, right? And I think that story beats or ideas like that's what has to grab an audience, right? The compellingness, the understanding of it, and I think so often those are left for individual interpretation. Again, I'm going to go back to the idea of like Inside, right? It very much left you like, what is happening here? What's the actual story arc? And I think it's a fantastic job when a game can make you individually, what I experienced, what I think of it, what the outcome was, what the journey is that we're going through can appear very different to me than somebody else. And I think that's one of the beautiful parts of storytelling. And I think in a game like this, that's what grabs you, right? Is I do want to know more. Tell me more about these things. How did we get here? Yeah. So the nice part I do like is we're kind of able to very quickly see that like these are the blocks that we're looking for with these triangles on it that indicate that there's some action required here. So we're going to move this block up here. Now if you're thinking, how did he know that? He is so smart. Because I fiddled around with it when I was at the demo station at Gamescom to figure out what I needed to do. So if it seems like, wow, you're really zipping through this, it is because this is kind of my second playthrough as I did so much of this component at Gamescom actually. So there we go, up we go. Some big jumps here, some very big jumps. And again, this has triggered obviously our the collapse of these rocks, and in this case, my death as well. I didn't jump off quick enough. You're probably saying, "Oh, if you knew that was going to happen," so I did know it was going to happen. I just didn't trigger it fast enough to jump. Here we go, and we're up on the ledge. Pull ourselves up, and the background's going to collapse. We have to run, 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 run. Now we are kind of at again a what appears to be a statue or a monument of some type. So I think this is interesting. Now we have, again, if we look in the background, we've got what appears to be like a golden sun and then a blue orb in front of said sun. So we need to do something with this. We've got some switches here. We're seeing some activation. I'm able to move these back and forth. So let's figure out what I have to do here. Can I go any further than this? I cannot. I'm being blocked. Okay, and I cannot climb on this. So I have to solve this puzzle. Right, as we so often do, we get to spots where we have to solve specific puzzles, and this is one of those said puzzles. So let's see what we do here. I'm going to move these balls back and forth. I'm going to maybe try and mirror what I'm seeing back there. So I need to put the gold ball behind the blue ball to maybe activate some kind of switch here. So I'm going to run back and forth between these switches to try and figure out how I do that.